Hi everybody. In this video we will learn about functions in MATLAB. We will learn the introduction of functions, we will learn the syntax of the function, and then we will create functions for basic arithmetic operations. Alright, so a function is actually the set of instructions that are used on a given set of input values. In simple words, if you have the set of input values, then a function will perform certain operations on those input values, and then it will give you an appropriate output. Alright, so the basic syntax of the function is here. So you have the function right here, and then here is the return arguments, right? And then you have to specify the name of the function, and then it will take the input arguments. And then the function body will contain the set of instructions which will be applied on these input arguments. Alright, so let's come to the MATLAB for practical work. So here you have to create the new script. Alright, so here let's create a function which adds the two numbers. Let's start from the basic to advanced. So here you have to write function, right? So as I said earlier, you have to write the function as it is, and then you have to write the return arguments. Here I will say function add equals to addition, and here it will take two values and an m. Alright, now here you have to write what operations do you want to apply on these input arguments, right? So here I will say add equals n plus m, and here I will end the function. So let's run the program. You have to select a folder where you want to save this specific file. Alright, you have to ignore these errors because we are not calling that function. We will call this function in the command window. Alright, so here how you can call this function. So let's say x equals addition, and here you have to provide the two values which you have specified here in the function input arguments. Here I will say 2 and 3. So as you can see, when I give the input arguments to this function, what it will do, it will take the values from here, right? And then it will calculate the sum and it will display the output. So this is a function. So let's create another function which will, if you want to subtract the two numbers, simply you can add the subtract sign here and then save this function. And then let's say x equals to addition, and then you have to provide two values, 3, 2. Now this will subtract 2 from 3 and the ultimate result is 1. Alright, so if you want to multiply, you can just change the sign from here. If you want to divide the two values, you can add the division symbol here. So let's write another function which finds the factorial of a number. Alright, so you have to create a new script, and here I will create a function f equals factorial. So you can write anything because, as I said earlier, this will be the name of the function. You can write anything, right? So it's not restricted, it's not necessary to use factorial. You can write anything. All right, so function f is equal to factorial, and here I will provide the input arguments. Now let's check a condition. If the user enters 0, right? If user enters 0, then the output argument has to be equal to 1 because the factorial of a 0 is equal to 1. But if the input value is not equal to 0, then we have to find the factorials. Alright, so the f would be equal to factorial, right? F would be equal to the n multiplied with the factorial of the input argument, input -1. All right, and this is AND. Let's save this program. Alright, so you have to ignore this error because we didn't call this function, but we are calling it in command window, CLC clear screen. Alright, so x equals to factorial 0. So if I enter 0, so the factorial of 0 is equal to 1, right? But if I have to find the factorial of any other number, let's say factorial of 2, which is equal to 2, right? And if I have to find the factorial of 6, then it is equal to 720, right? So like this, you can enter any number and the function will find the factorial for you, right? Here you can write 10 and the factorial of 10 equals this number. All right, so this is how you can create functions in MATLAB, and this is how you can call this function by the arguments.